Yeah, sometimes that's the way it is. So, hi there, brick builders. Today we got a Trabant 601. It's part of the Youngtimer series of Cobi and sports the number 24555, even if the original should be considered vintage by now. And it's not any old Trabant combi. It's more a command vehicle for the firefighters of the former GDR. The set has 77 pieces. It's 6 wide and sports 10 by 5.5 centimeters. It also has the Printet No Stickers badge, so there are a lot of prints in there and of course no stickers. What the set doesn't have is weird colors, as you can see here, even from the underside. But you have printed windows, printed headlines, a side print on the vehicle and a lot of other stuff. There are a lot of special parts, for example the rounded tiles on the roof, the flashlight, the tile with a hole in it for the flashlight, and the other part which has the studs on the top but is a bit of a base plate to help not pushing the flashlight through the roof. There are also the half rolls for the typical Trabant fender look, the logo on the hood, and of course special parts in the front and back to give the model the right look. The clutch power is typical for Cobi, very good, but there's also some kind of a design flaw, but later on that. Let's have a look at the box. As said, 77 parts, Youngtimer Collection, 1:35 scale, and a Trabant 601 as the universal firefighting command vehicle. It's the number 24555, it has no stickers, it's 6 wide or 5.5 centimeters, 5 centimeters high and 10 centimeters long. On the back side we can see the GDR flag and also the car country code badge for the GDR, which is something that doesn't exist anymore. Neither the GDR nor the car country codes, they're embedded in the number plates these days. As per usual for the Youngtimer series, there's also a little printed slope with the main data on it. It says Trabant 601 Universal Feuerwehr, which means firefighting vehicle. The Trabant 601 was produced from 1964 to 1990 in the GDR in Zwickau, in a factory that's today owned by Volkswagen. It was produced as a limousine, as a station wagon, and as a military type off-road vehicle. Its engine had a capacity of 0.6 liters and it topped at about 26 horsepower. It was about 3.5 meters long, 1.5 meters wide and about 1.4 meters tall. The weight topped at 660 kilograms, which was not a lot for the time, of course. They achieved this mainly by using a plastic body. Also, almost half the vehicles in the GDR were Trabants by the time the 601 was produced. So it doesn't come as a surprise that it even was used in the fire departments as a command vehicle, since its top speed with about 100 kilometers per hour would be sufficient and the availability was better than for every other car in the GDR. Here we got a photo of one of the originals. Even in GDR times the 601 was slightly altered and it's about 25 years of production. The white roof the Cobi model sports wasn't that common. Also, the rest of the color scheme differed a bit. It almost every time consisted of red and white. And also the flashlights or the lights in general changed from point to point and from year to year. For example, a lot of those cars had a white waistband, sometimes as a whole, and sometimes broken up for the doors. So, now we have a bit of a research project. As stated, the vehicle was produced in 1:35 scale, but a lot of people wonder if and how you can put a figurine or minifig in there. So this mission needs to use a test pilot, and for that purpose I used the pilot of the spaceship Discovery, in this case the pilot from the Smithsonian Cobi set. So let's break the model apart. It's definitely not meant to be opened like that, but anyway, let's put the pilot in there and see if it fits. So fits like a glove if it was a bumper car. So even if Cobi figurines could be studded in a seating position, which they can't, this wouldn't work at all here, wouldn't it? Or just have a look at this newly built driven model. So using a helmet and removing a bit of the roof, it's truly possible and feasible that our test pilot could drive this car. But maybe it's not that pretty, so just don't do it. This little experiment proved again that Cobi doesn't mean to have you play with this set, but rather that you put it in a display and admire the prettiness. But don't underestimate Cobi in that point. Due to the quality of the Cobi bricks, it's perfectly feasible to play with these cars even for a small child. So let's open the box, and as usual per Cobi, we'd first look at the printing on the inside. The set was produced on the 28th of April in 2020 in Mielec in Poland, where Cobi still is the only producer of bricks that solely operates its facilities in Europe. So emptying the box, we are greeted by a lot of bags. A bit special is that all the transparent parts, mainly the windows, are packed in a separate bag, which is also softer than the other bags. The rest of the pieces are sorted by size and by the fact that similar pieces are not located in the same bag. A look at the instructions shows us what we already had seen. Cobi places the set at 5+, which is for one reason feasible, but that's again something for later. The set sports 77 parts as said, so it would be overkill to put in building steps, which means mainly you open all the bags and start building. The instructions themselves are typically Cobi, only the current step is printed in color, everything else is great. And of course there are warnings for special similar parts to prevent you from mixing them up. The printing size is okay, you don't need any glasses or mobile phones to read it, the instruction booklet is not too big, and it ends with step 20. On the back side there's also a bit of advertisement for the other models in the Youngtimer series. There were no missing parts in the set and there were no leftover parts, so everything went together just well. So, The Youngtimers in the Cobi world are a bit of the beginner sets, since there are other Cobi sets sporting thousands and thousands of parts. These come with mostly less than 100 and therefore are considerably cheaper, which doesn't mean that they are lacking in quality in any way. To the contrary, there are a lot of special parts just done for these Youngtimer sets, and the clutch power is Cobi typically very good. So these models look very good on the shelf, especially with those special parts, but they are also good in the children's room to play with. For both use cases, the Printet No Stickers formula that Cobi created is a real benefit. The instructions are not too small, you don't need glasses or a mobile. The contents are well structured, the model is turned well in the instructions, and it generally don't leave any riddles. Even a kid can build this set without any problem. You end up with a vehicle that fits well together and does roll very well and smooth. A bit of a disadvantage of the high clutch power is that smaller kids are not able to fit larger studs together well, which means that they have to have a bit of assistance. Maybe mom, maybe dad, maybe the big brother or the big sister need to be around to help, at least with the build process. Unfortunately, in this set, this also proves a bit of a problem for everybody, not just the small kids. The problem lies in the window slopes, which are not very easy to connect with the roof tiles. So to put them together, you start pressing rather hard, which in turn might be losing the interior due to bending or even breaking the ground floor. To mitigate that, you need to remove the roof tiles, and after fixing the interior and the all-over structure, you have to put on the roof tiles, and they don't fit very well together, and it's problematic. And another problem around those windows, especially around those side windows, you might have thought that in some of the shots I didn't put them together in the right way, they were all different, but I'm pretty sure I did try every combination, but there is none where these parts really fit together on both sides. Finally, if you like the model for yourself, or if you need a gift for a child, firefighters do always look cool. So you can buy the set, you just have to prepare that you might be needed to help with the building process. So that's it for another video. If you like what you have seen, please press the like button. If you don't like what you have seen, please press the dislike button. And if you want to complain about all the nonsense I was talking, please comment on that. I need to learn. But have fun building, have fun watching, have fun playing, and see you